Welcome to Section 1, Introduction, the Cognitive Advantage. We live in a world saturated with information. Every day we're bombarded with data, notifications, and distractions. This constant influx can overwhelm our cognitive abilities, making it challenging to focus and remember crucial information. In this environment, mastering your memory and focus isn't just beneficial, it's essential. Those who can cut through the noise, retain important information, and concentrate deeply will have a significant advantage in their personal and professional lives. Today, we will explore the science behind memory and focus, providing practical techniques you can implement to sharpen your cognitive abilities. Now let's delve into Section 2, the science of remembering. Our brains are intricate networks of neurons that communicate through electrical and chemical signals. When we learn something new, connections between these neurons strengthen. This process forms the basis of memory. There are different types of memory: sensory memory, short-term memory, and long-term memory. Sensory memory is fleeting, lasting only a few seconds. Short-term memory holds information for about 20 to 30 seconds. Long-term memory, however, has a potentially unlimited capacity and can store information for years. The key to improving memory lies in transferring information from short-term to long-term memory. This process is enhanced through techniques that encourage active engagement with the material. Moving on to Section 3, spaced repetition, the key to long-term retention. Spaced repetition is a powerful learning technique that leverages the science of forgetting. The principle is simple. Instead of cramming information in one sitting, you review material at increasing intervals. Initially, you might review new information after a few minutes, then a few hours, then a day, then a few days, and so on. This spaced repetition combats the natural forgetting curve, ensuring that information is repeatedly brought back to the forefront of your mind. This technique forces your brain to actively retrieve information, strengthening the neural pathways associated with that memory. The result is long-term retention and improved recall. Lastly, let's talk about Section 4, active recall, flexing your memory muscles. Active recall is another powerful technique for boosting memory. Unlike passive reading or rereading, active recall requires you to actively retrieve information from your memory. Instead of simply reviewing notes, try recalling information without looking. You can do this by using flashcards, answering practice questions, or explaining concepts to someone else. The act of struggling to remember strengthens the memory trace. The more you engage in active recall, the more you train your brain to efficiently retrieve information. This strengthens memory and improves your ability to apply knowledge in real-world situations. In this section, we'll explore a technique called chunking, which helps in breaking down information. Our short-term memory has a limited capacity, and we can only hold a small amount of information at any given time. This is where chunking comes in. It involves grouping individual pieces of information into larger, more meaningful units. For example, instead of trying to remember a string of 10 digits, you can chunk them into groups of 3 or 4. This makes the information easier to manage and remember. Chunking leverages our brain's ability to recognize patterns and organize information. By grouping related items together, we reduce the cognitive load and make information more memorable. Moving on to Section 6, let's discuss mind mapping, a visual technique that helps you organize and connect ideas. It involves creating a central concept and then branching out with related ideas, forming a web of interconnected information. This visual representation engages different parts of your brain, making the information more memorable. Mind maps also help you identify connections and relationships between ideas that you might not have noticed otherwise. Mind mapping is a versatile tool for learning, brainstorming, problem-solving, and even presentation planning. By visually representing information, you create a mental framework that enhances understanding and recall. Section 7, the power of focus. Focus is the ability to direct your attention to a specific task or thought and sustain that attention over time. In our distraction-filled world, maintaining focus is a cognitive superpower. When you focus, you filter out irrelevant stimuli and dedicate your mental resources to the task at hand. This allows you to process information more deeply, learn more effectively, and produce higher quality work. However, focus is a finite resource. Like a muscle, it can be strengthened through practice and depleted through overuse. Understanding the factors that influence focus is crucial for maximizing your cognitive potential. Section 8. Mindfulness, finding your center. Mindfulness is a mental state of present moment awareness. It involves paying attention to your thoughts, feelings, and sensations without judgment. Practicing mindfulness can significantly improve your focus and concentration. When your mind wanders, mindfulness helps you gently guide your attention back to the present moment. This reduces distractions and allows you to engage more fully with the task at hand. Regular mindfulness practice strengthens your ability to control your attention, making you less susceptible to distractions. It also reduces stress and improves emotional regulation, further enhancing your cognitive abilities. Section 9. Time boxing, conquering distractions. Time boxing is a time management technique that involves allocating specific time blocks for particular tasks. This approach helps you structure your day and minimize distractions. By setting aside dedicated time for focused work, you create a framework that encourages concentration. During these time blocks, you commit to minimizing distractions and dedicating your full attention to the task. Time boxing helps you prioritize your work, avoid multitasking, and track your progress. It also promotes a sense of urgency, encouraging you to make the most of your allocated time. Section 10. Conclusion. Mastering your mind. Mastering your memory and focus is an ongoing journey. It requires consistent effort, self-awareness, and a willingness to experiment with different techniques. The strategies outlined in this essay provide a solid foundation for enhancing your cognitive abilities. Remember, the key to improvement is consistent practice. Implement these techniques into your daily routine, experiment with different approaches, and find what works best for you. By cultivating strong memory and focus, you gain a significant advantage in navigating today's information-rich world. You'll be better equipped to learn, solve problems, and achieve your goals.